Settlement of a lawsuit against the NCAA brought by the Pennsylvania lawmaker that you just heard from. Criminal charges were made against 3 former senior Penn State administrators, including the former university president Graham Spanier. And just Wednesday of this week, the judge refusing to dismiss those charges. No trial date has yet been set. The Paterno family has its own civil action pending against the NCAA. We say hello to Jay Paterno, Joe's son, who coached on his dad's staff for 17 years. Jay, thank you for being with us. I know your family has issued a statement including words such as unjust vilification of the school and scapegoating and very emotional phrases such as that. But what does today represent to you and your family?
Well, I think it represents a lot of things, not just to my family, but certainly to Penn State and people that believe in due process and justice. You know, it's a step in the right direction, but there's obviously more to go in this case. What
are the other steps that need to take place to your mind?
Well, I think there still needs to be some explanation as to why the Ncaa acted outside of their jurisdiction, why Emmert was able to act in a way that he did, and really clearly the documents have proven he was not an honest broker in this situation. So I think there's still a lot more to explain as to why the reputation of Penn State University, and certainly the reputation of a athletic department that was a model program across the board, why that was allowed to be sacrificed in the altar of expediency in the panic of the day.
Right, understanding that you represent your family and that this has been a very visceral and emotional topic, is also fact-based, as you point out. How would you describe Mark Emmert's conduct?
Well, it's becoming clearer and clearer through depositions that he's kind of acted almost as a rogue element, and that he really made this, he was going to take this on by himself. And I think what's important is to make sure this doesn't happen again, because anybody else that has a case in front of the Ncaa needs to know that the Ncaa is going to abide by their bylaws. That's the contract that's really essentially made between universities and the Ncaa, and I think we've got to make sure that they abide by the rules that they have set up.
We should note that we did invite Mark Emmert, president of the NCAA, to participate today. He was unavailable to join the program. You and I have talked about this topic just several months ago. You are well aware that there's a large segment, at least as well as you can judge it from the blogosphere, from the Twitterverse, that look at this and see it very differently than your family does. How do you and your family balance this quest for justice against what basically I opened the program with, the recognition that the true victims here are the kids?
Well, there's no question they're the true victims. And I think one of the things that we take solace in is the actual prosecutor in this case has stated on the record that Joe Paterno was forthcoming, that he was cooperative, and that he followed the law, and he was in no way involved in any attempt to cover up. So we take solace in that. But I think what's important here is that we don't vilify people who report these crimes as Joe did, and that we don't come under the false assumption that these types of things can only occur with the cover of a big football program or a big organization, that these things happen all over the place, and failing to get to the truth is going to fail potential future victims. We have to raise awareness, and the Ncaa acting the way they did really kind of obscured all that.
Where does your family's civil action stand?
We're in the discovery phase, and that's ongoing, and we're going to continue on that.
You close to no trial date?
No, not that I know of yet, but we are going through the discovery process. Some depositions are coming up and that kind of stuff. And obviously, I'd let the lawyers talk more to that than I will.
Not to breach your attorney-client privilege, but have you gleaned from your attorneys any sense of what the approaching trial date in the other action had on today's settlement?
No, I don't know. I think the Ncaa and Mark Emmert were anxious to get this over with rather than face the music in February and have to take the stand. But, you know, we'll see what happens from here on out.